Right lads, so one of the key principles that a lot of guys are missing in their fitness routines that's stopping them seeing the results that they're hoping for in terms of changing their body, gaining more lean muscle mass, losing body fat, is the simple law of progressive overload. Not things like muscle confusion and constantly chopping and changing up the exercises and the workout routines. All that's doing is creating more mental confusion than anything else. What do I mean by progressive overload? Simply taking a few key exercises and getting progressively stronger, improving your ability with them over time. Why is that important? If you want to change your body, you have to force it to adapt to certain stressors. So for example, if I go into the gym today and I do dumbbell bench press, and let's say I take the 20 kilo dumbbells for 3 sets of 15, second set maybe I get 14, maybe the third set I get 10. Right, the next time that I go into the gym and do that exercise, I want to aim to get more than I did. So maybe I do 15 in the first set, 15 on the second set, maybe I get 13 on the third set. I've just forced my body to go away and adapt because I've given it a new stress with the same exercise. And if I do everything else right, sleep well, hydrate, eat well, I should recover the next time I go in to do that. I should be able to do more again. And then when I reach 3 sets of 15 with that weight, then it's time for me to increase the weight and just rinse and repeat that process. That's a very kind of simple view of what progressive overload is. And ultimately, 6 months down the line, if I keep doing that, that will add more muscle mass to my chest, my shoulders, and my triceps. And where a lot of people are going wrong is doing exercises or doing workouts that are really hard, but they're not sticking with a given strategy for a long enough period of time and progressing with that. There's chopping and changing and trying different things. And it is good to change some exercise sometimes, purely for that mental stimulus, and new associations and new movements can contribute to creating new muscle that you didn't have before. But ultimately, if we're chopping and changing everything all the time, we're never going to get the changes that we want. Doing any sort of exercise is going to be great for your fitness and it can help weight loss, but in terms of actually changing and improving the shape of your body, looking more defined, we have to get stronger progressively with some key exercises over time. So I've already given an example of the bench press. Another few examples with body weight is, and a lot of people overcomplicate body weight exercises when we really don't need to. We just treat them very similar to weight exercises. With body weight exercises, we make them more difficult by decreasing the angle. So let's say when you first get started in your training program with press-ups, you need to use an assisted version of a press-up, so where your hands are elevated, and you build up your reps with that, say to 15 to 20 reps for 3 sets, and then you drop the angle to make it more challenging, drop the amount of reps that you were doing from before, and then start to build the repetitions back up again. And then when you can do all of your target reps in that workout with that level of press up, then you change the angle again. And then we can make bodyweight exercises harder once we can do the full press up by adding resistance bands to that. We can wear weighted vests, or we can upgrade from a normal press up to a decline press up with the feet elevated, or a press up on press up handles, or parallettes, or gymnastic rings. Gymnastic rings or the suspension trainer is certainly going to add more of a stability element to it, and also more range and get a greater stretch on the pec muscles. So there's lots of ways that you can further that progressive overload with bodyweight exercises. But the principle's the same, and it's important to keep it really simple. You make it harder by either adding weight or increasing the difficulty with the bodyweight exercises by changing the angle, and then you drop the reps and start climbing the rep ladder slowly again until your performance with that level is really good, and then you just keep on progressing. And here's the thing, in order to see some real visible improvements in the mirror or with your progress photos, that's going to take you 6 to 12 months of doing that. And another one of the big problems is expectations, right? A lot of people just have expectations that if they stick to a fitness program or some sort of regime for 6 weeks or 12 weeks, that they should be seeing groundbreaking results. But really, because we have the wrong expectations, we feel like we are not doing good enough, when it really isn't the case. So when you understand what it takes in terms of progressive overload to get you real results, then you start to understand that, you know what, this doesn't need to be complicated, and it also doesn't have to be extremely time consuming. You don't even need to travel to a gym. Even if you had minimal space, anyone can go from where they're currently at right now to massively improved in terms of fitness, strength, physical ability, and also condition and physique that they have, even with minimal space and minimal equipment, right? Because you can apply that principle to bodyweight exercises plus minimalist equipment set up, training at home with maybe a pair of adjustable dumbbells and a weight bench. Maybe add a pull-up bar in there. Another great example, progressive overload. If you can't do pull-ups, you're working on things like inverted rows to build up your bodyweight pulling strength, and then eventually working towards that first pull-up. And once you can do 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pull-ups, your body's going to change as a result of all those adaptations that you've put on it along the process of building up to getting your first 10 pull-ups. And it doesn't really have to be any more complicated than that. And you don't need to be in the gym or in your home gym or doing workouts every single day to get these kind of results either. If you're a complete newbie to training, or you haven't done any proper training in a while, or maybe you've been doing workouts but you just haven't been training properly and applying that progressive overload, even just 2 workouts a week, training for 60 minutes at a time with a few key exercises, some squat variations, push-up variations, dumbbell bench press, dumbbell rows, bodyweight inverted rows, dumbbell Romanian deadlifts, and applying those principles of progressive overload over a long period of time is going to take you a hell of a long way, most certainly over your first 6 to 9 months. Alright, I'm going to wrap this up. Hope you found this helpful. If you did, any questions below. If you got some value from this, hit like on the video, drop me a comment because it really helps the algorithm and show the video to more people. Thanks for tuning in. Catch you next time.